This is Unofficially Official. I'm Star Miller, and
I'm Mayor Mike.
we want to welcome you to our podcast where we fully intend to educate you on all things local. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Star Miller.
Hi, Star. I'm Mike Pavey.
Hi. Good
Hi.
to see you.
Good to see you.
So we are recording today, but first we just want to thank everyone who listened to our first. Do we have 2 episodes out, Kyle, or 1? 3. Wow. But
we apparently forgot one.
We do want to thank the people that have listened and have shared and followed the throngs of followers we have. But honestly, get on Facebook, like it, follow it, listen to it.
She made eye contact. And it felt like she was talking directly to me.
Well, that's because right before we started recording, we both discovered we have not yet followed it ourselves. So we will be doing that promptly. We are recording this after we've had just endless snow here in Indiana. So we thought that we would talk about some of the issues with snow removal in the city. Well, maybe not issues, but just how things work because...
Well, I think that it's important, and Kyle and I talk about it all the time, is there are some things that happen in cities that aren't really, they're not new and innovative every time they happen.
Snow removal.
And that's one of them. And
except that when it does happen, it's like, who's doing this? Who's taking care of this?
Yeah, but there's kind of a playbook, and some communities get really, really sophisticated, and some communities have kind of chosen to kind of try to play it a little bit by ear. I know that ours came in on a Saturday and kind of worked its way all the way through a Sunday. So the big effect, it was unusual.
As we record, it is also now snowing again.
But it came in at a time when kind of it's not your traditional time. It's
right.
not during the week when guys are working.
Oh, yeah.
You're bringing guys in. I think we worked 12-hour shifts, and we worked kind of constant 12-hour shifts. And then we went home and kind of took a break.
Yeah.
And then tried to, and then you had a cold blast, which was just complicated
Brutal.
everything.
Yeah.
But our first, when it comes out, and you can kind of see it in the posts that we put out there, the first ones are, hey, there's thoughts of winter storm, and everybody puts them out, and everybody's kind of preparing for the worst.
Sure, yeah.
And then you finally get verification that, this is going to be a real one. And then that's when Kyle starts posting.
And let's be honest, we're Hoosiers. We wait until the snowflakes really begin to fall before we really commit.
Yeah, because one of my legendary things as the mayor is I canceled a concert because of a storm that was pending that they said was going to rearrange the earth. And so I canceled it with everyone endorsing me, and it didn't rain that night. And I was like, are you kidding me? You think you're doing something good. Yeah. So everybody waits till the last minute, and then you'll see kind of almost a rollout. You'll see Kyle mostly is the one who will put some early stuff out there. And then as the guys start reporting to me about here's what we're seeing, here's what we can do, here's how we think it's going to play out, then you see us kind of gear into, okay, at this time we're going to do this, and on this time. And so then it gets a little bit more specific. And then, like you say, you just try to work through the details.
Well, you guys probably have a snow patrol schedule that you keep, don't you? That you just kind of implement when it starts to happen.
Yeah. Kind of. The guys kind of know because they've done it.
How many guys are on the street department, or persons are on the street department?
12. 12 right in that 12 area. And keep in mind, some jump on. Like this time, we had an amazing start. I felt like our start to this storm was
we should sing our praises.
It was as good as we've had. Everybody worked together. Because not only did you have the street department, the parks department rolled in and helped, and then the utility does their own kind of thing. And so you had a lot of people that kind of chipped in and made the first round. And then the problem was you've worked those guys around the clock, and then they have to go home and sleep. And so then
my dad was a lineman. You'd work 12 on, 6 off, or 18 on. Or,
Right. And it's the same thing is the guys have to go home and sleep. So they do. And then all of a sudden it becomes, hey, why isn't the city out doing this and this? And you're like, so what our first thing is we keep a travel lane open so that people can get through the streets. Then once it stops snowing, you see us make a push from curb to curb. So how do we get the snow off from side to side? And that's when you get your most complaints.
That's what I was going to ask. I don't live in the city, so obviously I'm just out there driving through the field to get to my county road still. That's kind of do people get angry about that? Because they get, for lack of a better term, boxed in with the snow.
Right, and we tell them all the time is, don't go out there and start moving your car and stuff like that in that first initial snow, because we're coming through.
Yeah.
And we don't have the detail equipment that comes in and says, oh, by the way, I can't hit that car while I'm trying to dig it out. We really don't look at the dig out. We look at go to curb to curb, and then those people are stuck back in.
I mean, the county does that as well. I mean, they can't bulldoze out everyone's driveway that they go past.
Right. So we basically say, once we get curb to curb, then you can go get your car out and move it.
Yeah.
And that way, when a truck comes through again, it'll take that area you were parked and kind of clean it off.
Yeah.
Now, some communities get really, really sophisticated, like I said, and we talked about it years ago. I think Bob Bridges might have been early on in his administration, or Sharon Boston.
Isn't that kind of equipment like wildly expensive?
Well, what we were going to do, it wasn't wildly expensive equipment. It was on a snow event. Like if the snow event happened on X day, then the day after the event, you parked on the right side of the road, or the north side, or the east side.
Wow.
Then on the next day, you moved your car to the other side.
That sounds like herding
cats. And everybody suggests it, and then they just get madder than heck because
people don't want to go out and do. Not everybody can probably either.
If you drive down through Rushville right now, you still have cars that you think, I thought they drove that car.
Yeah.
But it is very, packed inside of an embankment that.
Or maybe they're like Josh Miller and they just have cars parked.
It could be. So at that point, once we get to that point, and on a snow event like this, now in order to get the snow moved, especially in the parking lots, you just make a mountain.
Right.
And so then the next, everybody's like, well, why aren't they doing this? Well, because they're going into those parking lots and taking that snow and moving it somewhere.
Yes.
And then on like let's say day 4, then they go back downtown and start cleaning off, because the state highway doesn't care.
Okay.
They plow their travel lanes and they leave those parking spaces along Main covered. So then we go in and we take them.
They probably have to, right? Because there's so much to cover, I would assume.
That's it. And they don't have any equipment that's going to go in there and do anything else. So then we come in and we clean off the sidewalks and we haul all that snow away. So it's a super complex thing, and that kind of...
Especially when you're talking, I mean, that's a ton of snow when you're talking about hauling it away somewhere else. It's one thing to push it out of the way. It's another thing to lift it up and haul it off. Right.
And one of the things that I mentioned in some of the posts I put out there, and I saw yesterday that Josh Marsh down in Greensburg mentioned it, is you have everybody says in the mayor's world, we talk about, people talk about, reduce budget. Well, at some point you reduce the budget to where the only thing you can manage is if everything goes well. If suddenly something goes wrong,
it's almost like a household that's on a really tight budget.
That's exactly right.
If the fridge blows up, it's a catastrophe.
Well, and you have people talk all the time about transparency in this, and people don't need that money. There are situations just like our budgets, just like your budget, that talks about the different things that happen during these events. But Josh was saying, please understand that if winter goes really good, we're great.
Right.
But we have an event like this, and suddenly you go, well, so what? So what? That snow event, our snow event right now, and this doesn't count. This only counts what it took to clean the streets and get halfway there. That's about a $75,000 price tag.
Yeah, it's very expensive. Yes.
And so he was talking about, when the governor or when the state legislator talks about, well, you can efficient, so you make efficient, you can make efficient.
Which there's truth to that.
There is truth to that, but you can't get efficient to the point of nothing. I would nearly bet you if we talk about, we're running his business. Josh runs a business. It's a perfect example. I would nearly bet in Josh's budget, he has something that says, here is X amount of dollars, and it's just there to take care of those things that I can't plan for. And everybody does. But when you're talking about government, it's always popular for people to say, well, they don't need it. And in this, if we had our budget cut to zero, to where it was just at the end of the year, it was going to be nothing left, that $75,000 comes from somewhere. And so those are the tough things. These are the ones that.
That's interesting though, because most people probably don't think about it to that extent, the cost of it all the way down the line.
Well,
Why does it cost money?
And I think,
why does it take forever?
Well, each of the mayors are, like I say, they're interesting to watch because each of them do things different. And one of the other things that one of the mayors came up with is how much does it take to pull a fire truck out of the gate? Mm-hmm. So in other words, what's it take for a run of a fire truck to go out and, let's say, make a medical run or just go to a nursing home to see if a code is? It's an amazing amount of money that it takes. And everybody says, again, I want to save money. I don't want frivolous spending, but I want those son of a guns to be at my doorstep in about somewhere around 2 minutes. And so,
and I want the snow removed.
I want the snow removed.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, we even bought, when we were buying ambulances a few years ago, we bought a 4-wheel drive ambulance because we now service the county. So we sometimes have to get out into places that
like
you
where I
couldn't
live
get
right
to.
now.
Drive
through the field.
So yeah, it's just it's a different thing.
It sounds like it's just a cut and dry, like snow removal, but honestly, there are a lot of components to it.
Each community does it different. We removed like what that does. So this snow emergency affects other services we do.
Okay.
So an example would be it pushed everybody's trash and recycling days off a day.
Okay.
Now we still did it.
Just one day?
Yep, just one day.
Because the snow came, let's just say on a Saturday, like January 24th, I think is what we kind of think.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like my trash usually gets picked up on Tuesday, got picked up on Wednesday.
Okay.
So they still went about cleaning up and doing all that stuff, but then they ran a truck. There's another thing that, like an example was Greensburg didn't pick up trash. And now here's their strategy. They came and
want to make some people angry.
Well, they didn't pick up.
I mean, rightly so.
But you know what? They didn't pick up trash, but they came back and gave everybody credit.
Oh.
Because they didn't pick up trash. But the problem is the next time they pick up trash,
it's going to be double.
It's going to be twice as much.
Right, yeah.
And so their trash fees and what it costs them to go to the landfill is going to be pushed up.
Right, right.
But they're going to say, well, we forgave it, and that's fine. A lot of people don't, we do recycling, so that pushed back a day. And we do something that most communities don't do is we shovel alleys.
Oh.
But and people will say, oh, isn't that a great service? Well, that's where our trash trucks go.
Oh, yeah.
We have to have our alleys open.
Yeah.
Again, it's just, I think, like you say, it's like everything. It's great to be a critic from the outside, but the problem is once you get on the inside and you start learning the ins and outs.
Especially when you know what the budget is. That's what I was going to ask you. So do you feel like, I mean, obviously do, in recent years, budget changes have affected the stress on these kinds of services for the city? Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, I think you learn by equipment and you learn by technology to get better and do things a little bit more efficient.
The other thing is, too, when it's -9 degrees, running equipment outside doesn't go very well. It doesn't matter if it's made with snow
I don't
or
know when the
not.
last time it's been -4 degrees and you picked up a piece of plastic and it just shattered and you go, ooh. So, wear and tear on everything is much, much tougher. During that.
But overall, I mean, would you sing their praises?
Yeah, absolutely. I think our guys did a wonderful job at the event itself. I think that understandably they took a break because they all have families
and have to sleep.
And then they came back in, and since then the cleanup.
And people
has been,
come back. In my opinion, people come back better when they've had some sleep and.
So as we're here right now, we know that they've been going, a block at a time, cleaning up the downtown.
Today, while it snows?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're doing it.
So will they continue to do that through this snowstorm?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And is that mainly just because we've already had one, so you're trying to
Yeah, we just need to get rid of it.
Yeah. We certainly do. We're going to move on from snow removal talk and discuss something maybe a little bit more uplifting and more towards the spring, which is the annual
St.
Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's the 14th this year.
Is it really?
Yeah, so Brian and John and Dan will be preparing, and I don't know what year this one is.
The ambassadors.
Yes. So I think this year is and again, this is us talking, but I think in talking to Brian, I think he said that the funds this year were going to go to the foundation and be used as matching funds for.
Well, can you explain that just a little bit more, because that'll be a significant donation, right? I mean, it'll be that much more significant because it's matching. They match the funds.
Right.
Correct?
So in the Lilly grant program.
Yes, Lilly endowment.
And I don't know what the match is. I don't know if it's 1-to-1.
I thought it was 1-to-1, but okay. Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is. I just know that
let's put them on record as the 3-to-1.
Let's go on record as the fact we're announcing stuff we don't know. This is the 27th
of
of their
Okay,
parties. So
okay,
this
okay.
is the 27th. I would guess they would have had 28, but I think 1 year COVID canceled.
Yeah, probably so.
everything.
Yeah.
And so it'll be at the Knights of Columbus. And,
Otherwise known as the KFC.
Yep, at the KFC. And since they started doing this, they have raised over $300,000.
No, not over. We already discussed this
Oh,
before
I'm
we
sorry.
went on air.
What was that?
Okay, we were. I was singing the praises of
Who's this in
Mrs.
honor of?
Edna
Foster.
Foster.
Okay.
It's not over. It's more than.
Okay.
You didn't jump over it.
They have raised more
than.
than $300,000.
Yes. And we can say annual because it's more. I like when people come out of the gate with an event and it's actually inaugural, but they say annual. It's not happened more than once. Also,
This is annual. I've got
it
that
is.
one right.
It is annual.
Okay.
But it's at the KFC. Do you have? Is there still a parade first?
Yeah, I think the parade's at like 3 or 4 o'clock.
Oh,
They
is
do-
it?
they
Okay,
do-
okay.
They do a parade, and it basically just walks you down there.
Just
and
kind of
then
melds
the event
into.
starts.
And do they? I think in years past, haven't they had to set up a tent and stuff outside because there's so
do.
many people that come?
That's exactly right.
Do you want to elaborate on the fact that it really is an event that draws so many people to the community? People that are from this community who have moved away. They
Yeah,
come
it's
back
kinda-
with their spouses and their kids and their
It kind of reminds you a
kind of
little
a
bit
reunion,
of
really.
Turkey Eve, where everybody used to come back
Wild
to town.
Turkey Night.
Okay. Where everybody comes back to town and says, hey, it's our opportunity to
And
come
says,
back.
let's drink before we have to go see every one of our family members tomorrow.
That could be too. So yeah, it's kind of become an annual thing where people kind of plan to get together and
Yeah.
plan to come to town.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, it will be.
Do you have information on tickets yet? I know it's
I
February
don't.
and it is a short month, but well, how about this? When we do have more information,
I can
more
pretty-
accurate information.
Let me put it this
we'll
way.
share.
I can pretty much guarantee you that right now Brian Sheehan is going crazy trying to get tickets.
Yes.
And John will get them at the last minute.
Okay, that sounds good. And that's where we'll end. Oh, wait, what's
And
Kyle
they'll
saying?
be selling T-shirts.
Oh,
Remember
okay,
that?
yes. But not the T-shirt that Kyle has on that he was pointing to.
No, I hope not,
No,
because that's the
St. Patrick's Day.
bicentennial.
Okay, yeah, okay. That wraps up this episode of Unofficially Official. We thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed today's episode, you can subscribe to our show on your streaming platform of choice.